that just smelled like weed and alcohol. And I remember this one guy was just hugging him, and he smelled so bad. And I was like, I felt like the Lord said, this is what I do to you. I hug you through your mess and your junk. And I would just love just hugging him through it, praying and prophesying over him. And it's just messy. It's gritty. It's revival. It's like, it's not like pretty.
No.
The sound systems are bad. The chords are breaking. And it's just, God is showing up and he's touching people and he's breaking us out of our church boxes and he's getting us out into the world. And I mean, some of these places have been raining. It's muddy. Nobody's going home because people are so hungry for God right now.
So tell us about some of the things you're seeing on this tour. I mean, you guys just came from the National Mall. Talk about that. That was a history moment, history moment.
Yeah. I mean, you got, close to, some say 40,000 people showing up on the mall. Just the purity of the worship, the hunger for God that we're seeing right now is just so tangible. There's people being reawakened to God. The salvations that are taking place at each of these events are profound. I mean, even at West Palm, there was a little restaurant off to the side, and someone heard the preaching, and they dropped their fork, ran over to the baptisms, and got baptized. So God just arresting people on the peripherals and people coming forward. They just smelled like weed and alcohol. And I remember this one guy was just hugging him, and he smelled so bad. And I was like, I felt like the Lord said, this is what I do to you. I hug you through your mess and your junk. And I would just love just hugging him through it, praying and prophesying over him. And it's just messy. It's gritty. It's revival. It's like, it's not like pretty.
No.
The sound systems are bad. The chords are breaking. And it's just, God is showing up and he's touching people and he's breaking us out of our church boxes and he's getting us out into the world. And I mean, some of these places have been raining. It's muddy. Nobody's going home because people are so hungry for God right now.
In Orlando, it rained the entire time and people stayed for 2 hours just worshiping in the rain. I mean, it was incredible.
Yeah, we're seeing people like deaf ears opening up. There was a guy in DC had his deaf ears opened up. There was this kid in Fort Worth. He had two boots on his feet. He had, because he had broken his ankles, fallen off a ladder. His legs got healed. And so we're seeing even things like that are taking place, by just the God showing up, but just the body praying for the body. It's not like we're doing anything specific. It's just God is just showing up in the midst of the meeting people's hunger where they're at.
Yeah. And it's crazy because it's like so many people. I mean, nobody knows who's going to be. Sean Feucht's going to be there, but it's like, for the most part, it's like, it's pastors praying, it's worship leaders that nobody knows, but it's just like, they're not there for that. They're there for Jesus. Wow. And that's what's so incredible.
That's what I was going to ask. I was going to say, who do you find is showing up to these events? Do you find there's like a wide variety of ages? Is there a lot of young people that are coming out? What does it look like?
It's a wide variety of ages. There's a lot of young people, but there's a lot of older people too. I mean, you'd think that because of COVID, a lot of the older people wouldn't show up. They'd be more afraid to show up.
It's not been that way.
It's not. People are done. They're hungry for God. Yeah. They're like literally hungry. They see, I think, where our nation is. They see the riots that are taking place. People are fearful. They're just COVID, all this stuff, and there's fear, and people are just wanting to cast all that stuff off, and let's just turn back to God again.
And that's one of the things Sean says all the time. He's like, this isn't a political thing. This is a biblical thing.
Come on.
The church has always worshiped through pandemics, through wars, through all the hard times. We are called to worship because it does release heaven. It is powerful. We can't stop worshiping. It's so powerful. And so in this time, I feel like it's just awakening the church again to take courage, to cry out to our God, who is our healer, who is our everything, and to go after that. We have to at some point, like we can't stop. He is our answer. He is the answer.
He absolutely is the answer. And I love that you guys are doing this. It's, deep calling unto deep, creation is longing for its creator.
Yes.
So thank you so much for saying yes to this call. I don't know if you mentioned how many people came out to DC, but how many were at the DC mall?
I was told 40,000.
Yeah.
Sorry, 40,000?
40,000, yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. It's incredible. Absolutely incredible. And so what does the rest of the tour look like? Is this like do you guys see the end in sight? What cities are going to be coming up to soon? I think it's just the beginning, and I think it's going to get bigger. We were I'm going to get emotional. We were taking communion on the mall in DC, and it was supposed to be just 25 of us, but people they saw us over there. They just started rushing and huddled over there. All of a sudden, our 25 people communion turned into 1,000 people there. And
we're Facebook streaming it, and there's 50,000 people watching us take communion online. You're like, what is happening, God? And I saw a few of these red hats scattered throughout the crowd, and of course it's to make America great again. And I'm not talking about a political thing, but my point is I flashed back to 2008, back to the time when Sean was living with us. And I was laying in my bed one night and I had an open vision, and I saw stadiums filled with people. And I saw red hats scattered throughout the crowd. And I remember telling my wife at the time, I said, I'm seeing a vision of revival, and I'm seeing red hats. And at the time I'm trying to interpret it going, it's the blood of Jesus covering their hands or something, But it hit me when we were taking communion that I saw this back in 2008, and I think it's going to get bigger, and I think it's going to continue to grow. And so from here, this weekend coming up, we're going to do Las Vegas. We're going right to where that shooting took place, the Mandalay Bay shooting, and all those people passed away. We're going to worship right there. And then from the next day on Sunday, we're going to go to Phoenix. And then the week after is New Orleans and Baton Rouge. And I'm not sure what takes place after that.
He's still just flying. But
yeah, we're just kind of praying that the requests that are coming in for places to come they're just all across the country. Hawaii, I mean, you name it. People are wanting us to come into worship, because I think one of the things that's happening is we're strengthening the church and giving courage to the church right now, where the church has been beaten up by government or their people, and there's so much fear and whatever else. That's coming in at minimum. It's stiffening the backbone of the church. And so that's been an encouragement to see that to be used in that way for sure.
Hey guys, Roxanne Grace here. Thank you guys so much for watching Dream's YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a single conversation or new music from Dream. And if you guys enjoyed this episode, be sure to hit the like and notification buttons and share this video with a friend who needs to hear it. Oh, and don't forget, you can subscribe and listen to the conversation anywhere podcasts are available. Thanks for watching.